host of CRTV's Levin TV, the host of Life, Liberty, and Levin. Wow, you had big ratings this weekend right here on the Fox News channel. I call him the great one, Wonderful. Mark Levin. We missed you a couple of weeks, and we're glad you're back, my friend. Let's talk the election.
Thank you. Well, you know what? It's time for we, the people, to stand up for ourselves, for our families, for our faith, for our country, for our party, and for our president. You know, the media have interposed themselves in this election, Sean. We're actually fighting the media, we're fighting the Democrats, we're fighting academia, we're fighting Hollywood and all the rest. And 64% of the voters say the press has done more to divide the country. More people think the press has divided the country than the President of the United States. And I'm going to tell you why. The word Hitler is very popular with the press, with Joe Scarborough. The word white supremacy is very popular over there at CNN. The word Stalin's now starting to pick up. They consider those of us who support this president and support an America agenda as Nazis. They referred to us as racists, as white supremacists. Every time there's some horrific event, they try and pin it on us, pin it on our president, pin it on our party. It's really time, America, to push back. Enough is enough. We cannot turn any part of this government over to these radical, hardcore Democrats and their mouthpieces in the media. And I want to give you a few examples here. They talk about the president, his tone, and the relationship to violence. The president hasn't caused any violence. When Antifa's out there beating up people, the Marxist militia, the media are very passive, rarely say anything. When Bill Clinton pardoned the FALN terrorists who murdered 4 people and injured 44 other people, I don't remember them saying Bill Clinton was contributing to a violent tone in this country. When Barack Obama commuted the leader of that organization, who never repented, I don't remember them bringing that up. When Barack Obama befriended Bill Ayers and Bernadine Dorn of the Weather Underground and the SDS, the bombers, domestic terrorists, I don't remember anybody talking about him and violence and the tone of violence. Do you? Obama opens an embassy in Cuba, a genocidal police state. He's celebrated. Donald Trump moves our embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, the capital of Israel, and he's attacked by fools like Steve Schmidt over on MSNBC. Now let's talk about immigration briefly. Dwight Eisenhower, he's not considered a white supremacist, is he? He's not considered a racist, is he? Dwight Eisenhower, when he became president of the United States, he created a program called Operation Wetback. That's not me. That was him. Operation Wetback. What was that? He ordered the military to round up 1.3 million illegal aliens and deport them. And that's exactly what he did. And he was supported by the Democrat Party, too. I'll go further. 1960s, Cesar Chavez, the founder of the United Farm Workers Union, he ordered his members at night to watch the southern border and report illegal aliens coming over the border to then the INS. 1969, Chavez, Ralph Abernathy, who'd been the confidant of Martin Luther King in 1969, and Walter Mondale, I don't believe he was a racist, they led protests on the southern border against illegal immigration. I'll go on. The press says Donald Trump is threatening freedom of the press. How so? By calling them out? By challenging them? By exposing them? John Adams, one of our greatest founders, put in place the Sedition Act. The Sedition Act. He actually put some newspapers out of business and put some journalists in prison. Abraham Lincoln put out an executive order. They shut down almost 300 newspapers and put journalists and editors in prison. And not only that, the great progressive leader, Woodrow Wilson, he had the Sedition Act of 1918, did the same thing, put some journalists in prison and some of his opponents. Donald Trump hasn't done anything like this. He's not rounding up illegal immigrants who are in this country by the hundreds of thousands. He's not shutting down newspapers. He's not putting journalists in prison. Yet they refer to him as Hitler and as Stalin. And then we have this policy where we separate children from their parents who come here illegally, not because we want to put them in cages like Obama did, but because we want to protect these children from coyotes, from kidnappers. You got to sort them out and figure out who's who since they're here illegally. And they said, well, he's putting them in internment camps. Actually, it was Franklin Roosevelt who actually put Japanese Americans and Americans of Japanese descent in internment camps. They don't call him Hitler. They don't call him Stalin or anything of the sort. And I'll even go here. They attack our president. They say a womanizer. They bring the Stormy Daniels in front of TV, left and right, left and right. This president has been our president. He's conducted himself in the Oval Office with great acumen. Great acumen. Now, people are laughing. JFK was having affairs constantly in the Oval Office in the White House with an East German spy, with a mob boss girlfriend, with a 17-year-old intern, and he was outdone by LBJ. We don't talk about that stuff. How come? Because our goal, you see, is to trash the President of the United States. The media in this country, America, is campaigning against you, campaigning against your values, campaigning against your virtue, against the Declaration, against the Constitution. And you have a rare opportunity every now and then to show yourself, to stand up and say, we're not putting up with this anymore. We're going to protect our country. We're going to protect our values, our institutions, our party, and our president. And most of all, ourselves. You're sick of being called Nazis? You're sick of being called racists? You're sick of being called white supremacists? Then you need to vote. And you need to vote now if you have early voting, and you need to vote Tuesday, and you need to be your own precinct captain and bring out 4, 5, 6 people and make sure you vote. Because here's the deal. If more of us vote, we win. If less of them vote, they lose.
Mark Levin.
I am your voice.